What's up guys, it's Will. I'm here to tell you a little bit more about my winter beater. Over the next couple weeks, I think we're all gonna take a little bit of time, tell you a little bit more about the service history, or the history in general of our car, if we know any of it, what we need to do, and how we think they're gonna do this winter. Behind me, you can see my 2001 BMW 540i Touring, currently sitting with about 222,000 miles on the clock, and picked her up for 700 bucks. Actually, a buddy of Mike gave us a call and said he had this thing up at his dealership on trade-in and had no idea, what it needed, if anything was wrong with it, but for 700 bucks, hopped on a plane and picked her up. Would you just look at them? So after I picked up the car, it needed a set of tires. So what I did was, while I was still cruising around on it, picked up a spare set of Style 32s. They're all 8-inch fronts, so none of that staggered nonsense here. Quickly hit them with some paint. It's a rough job, but hey, it's a winter beater. Picked up a set of Nokian Hakapaletta 8s off of Craigslist. These puppies are studded, so hopefully it'll give that open diff all the help it can get. Don't worry about that bumper fitment there. That just kind of goes on real funny. Everything I feel is in really good condition for a New England car that's been sandblasted and driven in the salt its whole life. The headlights did need a solid polish, but that was a quick job. And it's got a few rust spots here and there. Some under the rockers near the jack pads. A little spot back here that I blasted off that bubble with a power washer by accident, and that's okay. Back here, we got a little bit of rust repair that I did. This is a real common problem with the touring models. The rain drainage off of the back is really poorly designed from the factory, and it's a common issue because a wiring harness runs right down in through here, which I guess I can show you. Don't judge me too hard, this is a work in progress. But anyways, there's real bad rust in here, and basically this whole chunk needed to be cut out, and I just welded in some new metal there and a new pass-through for the wiring harness. So I didn't want to put it back together because I used it to haul a lot of junk around, and it's getting a little too cold to do some body work. You'll notice the lack of tip. It's got a 2.5-inch pipe there slash cut, and that's because I did a muffler delete. Rev her up! Some of my most and least favorite things about this car are in the interior here. So, the fact that it's a touring, which is awesome, also means that I get one of these, which sucks. I really wish I could have a manual to slide this thing around this winter. Really close to my least favorite part about the car. We got heated seats, baby, and they work. Nobody else has that. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to write home about the interior. It's all stock, it's all comfy. I'm gonna be warm in my seats. But the scariest part about this car is under the hood. Fortunately, my hood release now works because I replaced that. So no more pulling the grill and picking it open. So under here, enthusiasts will know that we have an M62 TU, which means it's a VANOS, which has problems. And I have questionable history on the timing chains. So I think we're just gonna let her eat this winter. So one of the other issues, just before we started filming for the Winter Beater Challenge, we had the coolant expansion tank explode. Fortunately, the engine overheated pretty bad, but swapped that out along with the little hose that runs down underneath there. There's a plastic connector that crumbled to bits as soon as I tried to take it all apart. Don't mind that. That's just a little crusty from when I was trying to bleed it. We just bled coolant all over that thing. But anyways, put the new expansion tank in there, bled the system, and it's been pretty good ever since. Turns out the issue behind that was, it wasn't just old brittle plastic. The auxiliary fan had actually failed, and I learned that after I replaced all the cooling bits in relation to the expansion tank. So went to the pull apart, grabbed a new auxiliary fan, replaced it, and then it still didn't work. So it turns out it was actually just the coolant sensor, the one in the lower radiator hose. I did find out that if you just unplug it, the fan will just run all the time. So that's my temporary fix until I feel like making a mess and dumping coolant everywhere. So other than that, I think that's about it. I don't know. I haven't thought about how I'm going to end this thing yet. So, yeah. There it is. That's the end. That's the end.